Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living Coach. How's everyone doing out there? I wanted to show you guys my new chair. Like, I was just spending a lot of time on the internet and I was sitting in my wicker chair, which I'm going to continue doing my videos with my wicker chair, but I'm going to be editing and like doing all my chart readings and stuff for people that order from me in this chair because it's so comfortable. I never thought I would find an office chair that matches my house, because if I were to get an office chair, it would be like a sore eye in my house. But I found this, and literally I was so blessed. This is the Venus retrograde. Like, you can find antiques for really good prices because people don't know its value. Okay, so I got this chair, and it has like lions on this, and it's on rollers, and I am just super excited about it. So I'm gonna light an incense. I'm gonna let people join. I'll invite some people just to talk about this new moon that's happening on Monday. It's kind of along the same lines as Venus retrograde. So I'll be talking about the story of Venus going into the underworld. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Just give me a second for people to join. Hi, Stephanie. Nice to see you. I love you, girl. Okay. This is my new chair. I just got this week. It was listed at $125, and I was like, I hella want it, and I really don't have that kind of money to spend. So the guy was super nice, and he sold it to me. I just saw it. Sold it to me for $60. Say what? It's like the most comfortable chair ever. So I'm gonna light an incense, and then I'm gonna get going on the video. Just want to give people some time to join in if they like. And yeah, so good morning, good morning. Good morning to my soul family. Okay, I have my candle lit, my incense lit, and I have my tea. Normal people scare me. And the tea that I have in here is, I have two in here. One is love tea. Okay, this is the divine feminine. And then this one is bergamot, double Earl Grey, and this is the divine masculine. So they are together in this tea because that's what this new moon is about. It's about balancing the masculine and feminine energy. Not only that, but Libra is the sign of partnerships, right? And it's literally at 15 degrees, which is right in between its constellation. So every constellation is separated by 30 degrees. So half of 30 would be the middle is 15. So Libra is also the middle of the whole zodiac, right? It rules the seventh house, as well as there's three of each element, right? Constellation wise, there's 3 fire, 3 earth, 3 water, and 3 air. Well, as far as the air signs go, it is the second, so it's the middle as well. So this is huge about the masculine, feminine, about partnerships. Okay, it's highlighting because Venus is retrograde and it's on the descendant. Vertex is conjunct this new moon, okay, and Ceres. So the vertex actually rules the western part of the chart, which is the descendant. That's like where the sun sets. And then opposite of that is Aries. sorry, is Aries. And so because the vertex is conjunct the sun and the moon, and the vertex rules this side, guess what is over on the descendant? Venus. So that's highlighting Venus retrograde into the underworld even more for this new moon on Monday. So the new moon is on Monday, this Monday, the 8th, and it will be exact at 7:46. Now, Ceres is an asteroid. It's one of the biggest asteroids, and its orbit is around Mars and Jupiter. So what that tells me is that this is a nurturing energy. We're nurturing our feminine while she's in the underworld. We're supporting her, okay? And this is also about like mothering, right? Nurturing, because Ceres is also like rotating around Mars, which is the divine masculine. It's the masculine archetype. And so it's telling me that we're exploring, because it's Jupiter that it rotates as well, right? It's exploring and expanding this, nurturing the feminine energy. And it's a new beginning with the feminine energy. And so the story of Venus really going into the underworld is she goes down there to meet her sister, Inanna, right? And she has skulls in her eyes, and she's so upset, like so upset about everything that has happened to her. Maybe she was neglected, abandoned, let's say sexually abused. And we're seeing this in our politics today, right? Of feminine energy crying out for justice, because what does Libra rule? Justice, okay? There needs to be some kind of justice for the feminine energy. And so we're expanding and exploring this feminine energy. So while she's in the underworld, she's, really like, she has skulls in her eyes, and she's saying like, I'm so sad, I'm so upset, I'm so hurt, I feel abandoned. And her sister was literally repeating after her everything that she's saying, like she's being heard, and that's all Venus wanted to do, was to be heard. And once that happened, the skulls were removed from her eyes, and then she rose up out of the underworld as a morning star, which they reference Venus as a morning star as Lucifer. So that's kind of like the journey of the feminine energy right now. And this new moon is highlighting that journey and this renewing and this rebirthing and exploring the divine masculine and divine feminine archetype, and how we're balancing that. Hi David, thanks for joining. And so there is some hard aspects between Venus and Mars is squaring off. So they're having an argument. So it's all about like this battle and balancing between these two energies, as well as the new moon is being squared by Pluto. So that Pluto, that's where Venus is. So it's this deep transformation of the feminine energies within all of us. And how to balance that with our masculine energies and how to integrate them. So it's all about transmutation and transformation. Uranus is opposing Mercury during this new moon, and opposing by a pretty big orb of Venus as well. So this is, let's see here. So this is intense. It's a hectic feelings that are coming up because Pluto had been retrograde before Venus is going retrograde. Unlike last year, it was opposite. Now these these things are coming to the surface. Okay, maybe they're still unconscious, and so it's like lingering, and you know that there's something that's bothering you, but you just don't really can't put your finger on it. And it'll be sudden when you do, hi Sarah, it'll be sudden. So it's just like, I'll tell you a little story. Okay, so I went to Sprouts and I was getting 2 items, and there was like only 2 lines open, and this line was long. I was super like irritated by the fact that I would have to stand in this line. It would take me an hour just to purchase 2 items. And so I was like, I'm just going to leave, or maybe I'll just ask. I'll just ask them if they could open up a register. Well, then, I'm waiting for the manager. He's kind of taking his time. And I was waiting in the 10 or less item area, because that needs to be open at all times, in my opinion, for those that are only getting a couple, things. Well, then the guy comes up to me and he's like, well, are you waiting for something? And I was like, yeah, I just asked you if you could open up the 10 or less line. I was like, because the last time I was here, I had maybe 12 items. And when I was when the 10 or less line, the lady denied me. Like, I don't know, I already had all my food up on the belt. And I was like, and the lady was like, how do you have 10 or less items there? Like, all attitude. And I was like, I'm sorry, let me count. I didn't count. I don't know, it's just me. And I was like, oh, I have 12 items. I'm sorry, 2 items over. So I started putting it back in my bag, and I was irritated. I thought it was kind of racist. Like, she didn't want to help me. There was no one in line behind me. So I was like, that's weird. So I kind of suppressed that, right? And it bothered me. So now that I'm in there with my 2 items, I want to go through that line quicker. So these are kind of the things that are happening. I really didn't know why I wanted to have that line open for those 2 items until I realized I had suppressed that the last time I went in there, how it was rejected service in the 10 or less items. And now I have 10 or less items, and it's not even open the day that I have 2 items. So it's just that kind of stuff. So it's like these unconscious things that are coming up that we really don't know what it's about. And we could be taking it out on the people and the things around us that have nothing to do with it. So I just wanted to shed light on that type of scenario that can happen, especially with Mercury opposite Uranus. There is this increasing like anxiety and nervousness that could happen as well. And what else is going on here? Yeah, so there is a lot coming up about loss. And I know a handful of people that have had to go to funerals, the past couple weeks. Okay, so that's huge. And we're maybe realizing how important relationships are, and how important it is to really be nurturing and loving to those around us, and that feminine nurturing energy with Ceres sitting there. So it's kind of like, because it's conjunct the sun has a lot to do with our ego. And the moon has a lot to do with our feminine energy and our emotions. Sorry, this is flipping around. And so the moon conjunct Ceres is much like the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress type archetypes, which has everything to do. Sorry, this is causing so many problems. Actually, this kind of reminds me of Prince in a way, doesn't it? Prince. Hi, JC. Nice to see you. How's Costa Rica? So the Queen of Pentacles is all about nurturing too, and being grounded in earth during this time. So really meditating on grounding yourself to the earth's core. The Empress is very mothering, and there's a lot of abundance and nurturing there. So this is all about nurturing our feminine energy and really being mindful of our ego, because when Venus is sleeping and Mars had just got out of his retrograde, he's like, I am so itching to just go. Like, I'm so sick of all this stagnant energy. Like, all of 2018 has been retrograde after retrograde. Literally, this is like the last retrograde of the year. And everyone's like, oh my God, like 2018 flew by. Like, I can't believe it's already October. And it's because we've all been rethinking, reconsidering. It is a beautiful day. And reevaluating anything, because we don't know where we're heading, what we're doing, because we can't see around the corner because of all these retrogrades. So now that the planets are starting to move forward, Venus is the last one to reconsider. So this is going to balance the masculine feminine energies within us. It's going to balance our partnerships, and it's going to really bring some clarity as to where we're going and where we're heading. This new moon is just the beginning. And yeah, do you guys have any questions? Do you want to share anything? I think I touched base on mostly everything that I wanted to touch base on. So it's just good to be alive, you know? I'm so happy and grateful that I'm still on this journey here, that I could make a difference and continue spreading the love and the light. And yeah, well, I will close with some quotes. All right. So Libra is the initiator of the autumn equinox, and its opposite, Aries, is the initiator of spring. So remember that. Spring, the sun is rising. Libra, the sun is setting. Okay. It's the yin and yang energy, you know? Love it. So here's a quote from Sacred Heart. Learning to love one other person completely teaches you how to love all people. Learning to love all that is unlovable in your partner, learning how to rise above the pettiness, disagreements, and judgments, establishes in you a love for all humanity. So that's a very Libra quote. And Libra is the justice card. So justice is being served. Libra is about we are, and Aries is about I am. So I will close with that, and I wish you guys the best new moon. It's a great time to set intentions, great time to write and journal. Poetry, the arts. Libra does rule the art. It is the balance between the light and the dark. It is between the worlds. And it seeks harmony above all, but its shadow side is not speaking its truth. And it sees both sides. And so sometimes it has a hard time making a decision. So don't let this new moon make you feel confused. Just think about what your heart wants and then fully focus on that and manifest that. Okay? Have a great new moon, guys. Love you. Peace out.